it's Finnovation. So I really like my computer mouse, but there are just a few things that I don't love. And the obvious question is,
what are you going to do about it?
well, I'm gonna fix them. And I'm gonna do it for under 10 bucks, just a little bit of time and elbow grease. Let's get right into it. All right, the mouse I'm gonna be modding is the bloody A70, and the mods that I'm going to be showing are going to work for the A70, the abedless, and the A60, and I'm not sure about the A90, but maybe. Now, these mods can work for a ton of other mice as well, but those are the mice that I know will directly convert and work with. But the first thing I'm going to do, and that anyone's going to have to do when modding their mouse, is open it up. So these feet on the bottom, which I'm just going to take off with a little screwdriver and pry them off.
Alright, so right now I'm just prying them off, like I said, with a screwdriver. I would use a flathead for this for sure. It's going to take a little bit of force for most mice, but a little bit and you should get it. Alright, so as you guys can see, I have the feet off and there's going to be screws on those four corners. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Phillips head screwdriver and just take them right out. Alright, now that I've got the four screws out, and it's really important to know where these are, so I'm just saving these on a white piece of cardboard. Probably I'd recommend putting them in a bowl. But now what you're going to do is take off the bottom bit of your mouse. Now this can take a little bit of force, but not too much. If it feels like you're forcing it, then you're probably doing it wrong. It should kind of just pop off like this. Now the first thing that I'm going to do is take out, like, I want this top part out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unscrew this circuit board off, or you could alternatively take off the ribbon cable. But for me, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take off this circuit board. All right, now that the screws are out, and there were actually 3 on that circuit board, that's my bad. But now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take out this weight. For some reason, Bloody decided it was a good idea to put a weight in their mouse, and I mean, I guess some people like the feel of a little bit sturdier, heavier mouse. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take it out. Credit to Helix for discovering this. I'm not sure if he discovered it, but he was the one who popularized it. So essentially you can take off like 20 grams with that singular weight, and it makes the mouse feel a ton lighter. Another thing that you can do is actually take off this piece right here. It provides no value to the mouse, and unless you like the look of it, which you really don't see it, you can take these 2 screws out and again take off another little bit of weight.
Alright, now what we're going to do is I am going to actually put away my other stuff to the side, and I am going to start sanding down my mouse. Now I'm going to be using 320 grit sandpaper to start off with. Then I'm probably going to work my way up to something like 1,000, 1,500, something really pretty smooth. And this is because I want this to turn out really nice, and I don't want it to feel like someone just took like a chisel to it. So it's going to be a lot of sanding.
While you're sanding, make sure to take your time. You want it to turn out nice, and I'm going to be actually sanding for 2 reasons. First off, to get a nice texture on the mouse so that I can paint it well, and secondly, I'm actually going to be changing the shape because, as a lot of people know, the shape of this mouse is not very good. So I'm going to be sanding down all those like really hard edges that are uncomfortable on the mouse.
Alright, so as you guys can see, this back part is looking much more sanded. Now you might notice, whoa, this came right off. Now this was kind of difficult to get off, and I didn't want to break it, but what I did was there were a few little pieces you had to push out, like these 2 things, and also you had to slide it forward in order, because there's 2 hooks like on screen right now, as you can see. And it kind of hooked together, but I just had to kind of push it forward, and it popped off. Another thing I did was took out these little side buttons. These were actually like right on the top, and I didn't want to get these sanded because these work fine, and so does this. But now what I'm going to do is keep sanding, and I'm going to go from like 300 grit to about 600 grit, and I'm just going to sand it so it's a little bit finer. Alright, so now that my mouse is completely sanded, and I also did some 1000 grit sandpaper all the way at the end, and it feels really smooth, so I think the spray paint is going to stick just fine. So for the base, like this bit right here, the top, I'm just going to spray paint some matte black again. And now you may be wondering, like, so you kind of did all that just to make it, you know, the same color. Well, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to put like a little Finnovation logo with some electrical tape right here. And so the shine through isn't going to be like the little bloody hand symbol anymore. It's going to be, you know, my logo, which is going to be a nice little touch. Then for the buttons on the top and the side and the scroll wheel, I'm going to spray paint them some gold. So I think it'll look really nice, and so I'm going to go spray paint.
All right, so I've got the logo on and it looks great. Again, I just used electrical tape. Now it's time to go spray paint this. But now this is actually me from the future editing this video, and this is where I made a mistake. Make sure that when you're spray painting, you give like maybe 3 coats, because otherwise all the shine through will be like everywhere you sanded and not just where the tape is. Now I also never truly discussed the color scheme of this mouse, and now I think is a good time. So I'm going to go with black and gold because I think that looks really cool. It's kind of like my logo, black and yellow. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray paint all those highlight pieces, so the side buttons, the top buttons, and the scroll wheel with some gold spray paint. I hope it turns out great. All right, so as you can see over there, our gold things are drying, and now I'm going to do my actual main piece. Now when I'm doing this, I'm going to put it on very light. I'm going to start light, and I'm going to make sure when I start spray painting, it's going to start, go across, and then let go. Because if you start while it's on, oftentimes you get drips. Well guys, as you can see, the mouse looks amazing. Now all I have to do is just put on, take off the sticker, which was again just some electrical tape. So hopefully that peels off nicely and it'll be a nice glow through. Alright guys, the tape is off and it looks phenomenal. Now time to plug it in and see how the RGB looks. Alright guys, now it's time for my big mistake. So I turned on the mouse for the first time and I was like, wow, this looks phenomenal and it works and everything. But then I went and I turned on the LED lights. And as you can see, they completely shine through where I sanded because the original coating of paint was much thicker than my spray paint. And because I only did like 1 layer of spray paint, well, you get that glow through, which doesn't look very good. So I'm gonna have to sand this all back down and put the stickers back on and try it again. Alright guys, so as you can see, I have resanded it down, and now it's time to go spray paint again. Alright, so I respray painted it, turned out nice this time. Make sure to let it dry all the way, because I also on my first try got a fingerprint on it, which is not good. So make sure you let it dry. Now all I'm doing is putting the mouse back together. Alright, so just as a summary of all the things we took out all of the metal mouse feet, which definitely took off some weight. We took off this back piece, which also took off some weight. And, well, the actual weight in the mouse, which again takes off about 20 grams. And I'd say that the rest of this, this definitely takes off a few grams. This definitely takes off a few grams. So after this, it's definitely significantly lighter. Now you may be wondering, whoa, so you're taking the mouse feet off the mouse. What are you going to do now? I'm going to be using some Tiger Ice mouse feet. And I bought these off of their website for about 10 bucks. And they're really nice skates. That's at least what I've heard. Credit to Boardsy. He was the one. Go watch his video reviewing them. He was also the one who told me to buy my mouse pad. He's awesome. Definitely go check him out. But either way, now what I'm going to do is just put these on the bottom and hopefully it's really nice. Alright, and now as you guys can see, my mouse has some mouse feet on it. And the Tiger Ice mouse feet, wow, I'm very impressed. They are like buttery smooth. Right now I'm using like a hybrid pad, which is a mix between like a speed pad and a control pad. So it's not like crazy fast, but it's also not like super slow. But either way, like one tap and like this mouse goes like flying. It's really crazy. These feet are really just incredible. And either way, I am loving the way this turned out. I think the gold looks really awesome with this mouse. Like, just like the little highlights there. I mean, I really just love it. And the logo looks awesome. Now, as you can see, like, it's not curved. Like, it doesn't have that, like... As you can see, it doesn't have that annoying, like, bump in the middle. Where, like, I don't know. I just hated that. It, like, dug into your hand and wasn't very nice. Also on the sides, I sanded down there, which makes a huge difference. So like, it used to be like this sharp curve where you can see it up there, but now it's like nice and smooth down here, which I think again made a huge difference. It looks, you know, just smooth from on this angle, but it still has that like look of like the Bloody A70 and Bloody Abedless. So it's just honestly just improved in every way. I love it. Well, that sums up this video, and the mouse turned out absolutely amazing.
Amazing mouse? That reminds me of a joke.
Oh boy.
Why did Mickey Mouse go into space?
I don't know, why?
He was trying to find Pluto.
Oh, that was terrible. Whatever, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!